finding out why the ancient Egyptians were able to build the pyramids by stacking 2.4 million blocks of at least 2.5 tons of rock to a height of 146 meters has caused scientists a headache. But fortunately, so far, scientists have discovered part of the truth. So let's find out together. We often think that the pyramids were also built like the Great Wall through forced slaves to do hard labor, not being able to eat, have no clothes to wear, even have to work until die. But recently, archaeologists have found confirmation that the pyramids were built by skilled, highly qualified workers who were hired. They were paid a salary, were fully fed, and were honored as people with meritorious services to the country. In addition, if they die, they would also be buried in a place of honor, as evidenced by the fact that near the pyramids, archaeologists unearthed a large amount of animal bones in quantities sufficient to feed several thousand people. They also found cemeteries that were well organized, while slaves wouldn't have been treated so well like that. Regarding the construction process, in 2010, scientists discovered a type of papyri paper, according to which they obtained a lot of information about the construction of the pyramids. The locations of the pyramids were chosen very carefully. This place must meet the following requirements. First, it must be on the west side of the Nile River, where the sun goes down, because the Egyptians believed that the place where the sun goes down was the gate to the afterlife. Second, it must be built on high ground to avoid flooding, but not too far from the shore, because moving rocks will be very difficult. Third, the construction terrain must be sturdy to withstand the weight of tons of construction. Finally, it must be near the king's residence. The next step is to prepare the ground. The truth is that the foundations of the pyramids were made very flat. To do this, the architects first built a wall to keep out the sand, then they scooped up all the sand inside the foundation until it reached the rock layer. To balance, they could dig a lot of small ditches, fill them with water, and trim away the protrusions of both the water, which created a flat, lake-like foundation. 2,500 years ago, Egypt knew how to use water to balance, so it can be seen that they are very civilized and modern. When building the pyramids, engineers built the interior first. They used the most beautiful and sophisticated stones, but not very large. After finishing the interior, they began to use limestone to create the outer shell. But the problem that makes scientists headache is that the blocks used are too big and weigh many tons. So how did people move it from the quarry to the Nile, from the Nile to the building, and how to rise it to a height of 146 meters at the top of the pyramids? About moving from the sand to the construction site, after much controversy, scientists came up with the method they used as sliding. Specifically, the stone blocks would be placed on large boards and cracked on the sand. As for how to bring the blocks up to the height like that, this part hasn't been clarified yet. But the options offered are that they used pulleys, or the Egyptians built sand slopes to slide each rock up. But this option is also very difficult. Interestingly, archaeologists recently discovered a 20-degree slope with holes on both sides to bend wooden poles, and the slope is set to pull up the stone blocks. And maybe we have to wait a little longer to find a complete answer. Thanks for watching the video. Goodbye and see you later.